to is easy access to firearms in the United States is harming its citizens. The advocate's secondary claims were individuals with guns are more likely to cause harm than to protect. The second, the United States must think of adopting other nations' laws to help lower the number. The third, laws concerning gun control only affect law-abiding citizens. My response to his first secondary claim was that the advocate claims that there are 30,000 deaths a year by firearm, which 60% are suicide and 40% are homicide. But he provides no citation and makes this information not credible. The evidence I found was that CDC, the Center for Disease Control, says that there are 29,573 deaths caused by firearms a year, which 16,869 are suicide and 11,348 are homicide. 802 are accidental, 323 are legal intervention, and 231 are undetermined. My counterclaim is that the advocate says that homeowners with guns are 2.7 times more likely to hurt someone and 4.8 times more likely to commit suicide, but again provides no evidence and says and basically a poll from gunsite.com said that homeowners that do not own a gun, that do own a gun, hardly even use it and keep it under storage. Now, my response to his secondary claim is that the advocate says that the National Rifle Association influenced lawmakers and their lobbyists contribute to the gun law legislature. But the association, they aren't the ones committing crimes, and they all own firearms in a legal way. So I don't find why this evidence is needed. My counterclaim was that the advocate says that most first world nations require psychological evaluation and or documentation for the firearms purpose. But as the advocate said in his third claim, that most criminals don't get a gun. They don't get guns from authorized places, so they do it in a legal way. So even if we do adopt these laws, it will not. It will only affect law-abiding citizens, not the criminals, because they'll keep getting guns in an illegal way. Now, my response to his third secondary claim was that the advocate says that private sellers trade automatic weapons and illegal firearms for cash without background checks, but again provides no information of how this is happening and more evidence will be needed. Now, again, automatic weapons are rarely even seen in crimes or in shootings, so automatic weapons are not a threat so far to our citizens. Now, my reasoning challenge is that the advocate says that gun laws only affect law-abiding citizens, so how are new laws gonna affect criminals? How are new laws gonna stop gun deaths and basically just keep harming citizens? Now, my counterclaim was that the advocate said that to avoid background checks, individuals purchase weapons at gun shows where no background checks are needed, but there are some states that undergo background checks to purchase weapons at gun shows. For example, California and a couple other states in the United States. Basically, with this, I hope that this evidence I provided is enough for you to see that most of the speech was not credible because of the evidence is missing. Thank you.
All right. right, you labeled the claims pretty clearly, you signposted as you got to each point. On the first point, you challenge the evidence, you say there's no citation on it, and then you proceed to give basically the exact same statistics, so I'm not sure why it's not credible if you're going to provide the same information. You know, your 29,573 deaths by guns, somewhere around 13,000 of them are suicides, 11,000 of them are murders, and then assorted others are mixed in there. Those are pretty much the percentages that the advocate talked about. The fact that you give it from the CDC doesn't necessarily mean that the other person's citation is bad. Maybe they didn't give a citation, but what did you gain by providing the citation for yourself? That doesn't advance an argument for you. You say that there's no evidence on the rate of risk, but he had some statistical evidence that you even cited. Is there a problem with those statistics? That's what you need to provide us. You did have a claim that says that homeowners who have guns rarely use those guns and they keep them stored, but I didn't hear a source citation for that evidence. On the NRA argument, you basically kind of dismissed this argument saying, well, how is it relevant? And it seems to be that the argument you're presenting here is that these are legal gun owners. They have a right to influence legislation, and in fact they're protecting their rights, which again, I don't know how it advances the advocate's claim, and I don't know how it helps you if you respond to it. The argument, the third point though, about criminals obtaining guns illegitimately, that does suggest that there is a problem with any increased restriction. And as you go on in the argument, you ask several questions. The problem is the questions need to be turned into declarative statements. You ask, you know, well, how would this law even be able to work? And the argument should be, this law will not be able to work. And that's the way you want to present the argument so it's clearer. All right, thank you.